Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2025 Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship for high school 8-man football. On behalf of the SEEC and 8-man Extreme, we thank you for attending at May Flanders Field in White House, Tennessee, and tuning in on YouTube to join us in celebrating an incredible season of athletic excellence. Let's meet the two teams participating in tonight's final contest of 2025. They finished the regular season as the number 2 seed in the South with a 9-3 overall record, won in the quarterfinal 52-20 against the Tennessee Heat, and won in the semifinal 58-22 against the South Haven Patriots to get here. From Huntsville, Alabama, give it up for tonight's away team and the 3-time defending conference champions, the Freedom Cowboys. They finished the regular season as the number 2 seed in the North with an 8-3 overall record, won in the quarterfinal 30-14 against the Chattanooga Patriots, and won in the semifinal 26-8 against the Tennessee Tigers to get here. From White House, Tennessee, give it up for tonight's home team, the Christian Community School Colts. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this week, a member of our Southeastern Extreme Conference family, the Chattanooga Patriots, lost a special member of their family in a tragic bike accident. Luke Stepp was a senior on Chattanooga's inaugural team last season and remained with the team after graduation as an assistant coach this year. He was only 18 years old and a student at Cleveland State. We ask that you join us in a moment of silence and prayer for his family and the Chattanooga Patriots community. Thank you. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for a word of prayer from New Beginnings Baptist Church Pastor Luke Ianello.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day that we have to be able to come together. We thank you, Lord, for the physical life that we're able to enjoy. Lord, as we come together for this sport of football, we pray, God, that you would please protect the players, Lord. Give them safety, Father, on the fields and all of the friends and family in attendance. We thank you, Father, for this life. We also thank you for eternal life that is offered through the Lord Jesus Christ as he took our place on the cross and went to hell for us and rose again the third day. We thank you, Father, that you've given us the safety coming here tonight. And Lord, we pray that win or lose, we would give all the glory and thanks to the Lord Jesus Christ, for he's well deserving of it all. We ask this in his precious name. Amen.
At this time, we ask those willing and able to please continue to stand to honor the United States and those who support our freedoms at home and abroad. Singing the Star-Spangled Banner is Nashville recording artist and award-winning songwriter Jericho.
Mic's not working. It's gonna be signal issues. Dang it! Dang it! Dang it!
I got it.
You got it?
I got the anthem.
Okay.
Just tell him.
She lost the green light, probably batteries. Dang it! Said, do y'all wanna come back to that?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular above bird singing out, yeah, through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
Please welcome to the center of the field the captains for the Freedom Cowboys and the Christian Community Colts. They will be joined by our honorary veterans at midfield with the officials. And our honorary veterans are retired U.S. Army Captain Joey Carr and retired U.S. Army Private First Class Chuck Bay. Captain Carr served as an Army chaplain from 1999 to 2009 and spent most of his career working with deploying soldiers, returning soldiers, and family support groups. He focused heavily on working with units and families dealing with tragic events, loss of life, and suicide prevention. He served in a variety of units, including the 304th Military Police, 426 Engineer Combat Heavy, and the 81st Regional Support Command. He was medically discharged because of injuries incurred while in service, but despite this, he could still out-yell even the hardest of drill sergeants when he has to. Private First Class May enlisted before his number was called in the draft in 1970 instead of dodging his duty, and served at Fort Hamilton, New York until 1972, handling clerical work at the base in the middle of the Vietnam War. He is also one of the gentlemen that was instrumental in the creation
It
of
is
the
his.
field we're
Do
at
you want to
today,
kick,
along with
receive, or
head coach
defer?
Jordan Flanders' father, Coach Hank Flanders.
Oh, like to defend. Put your backs there.
The Freedom Cowboys have won the toss and deferred their choice to the second half. The
Coach,
Christian Community
will
Colts
rec-
will receive.
Thank you for your service. Yes, sir.
Who's where? The one that was closer over here is. All right. Let's do this, man.
You guys got me here? Eli, you got me?
I hear you.
It's up there. Spencer.
Yes.
You had turned down the
Okay,
levels.
we're
so,
good.
Spencer, you turned down the levels, so none of the stuff that you were saying over
We're
PA
good
came
now.
over the broadcast. It's okay. It's okay.
Let us know when you're ready.
Taking off for the Cowboys, number 7, Landon Miles.
We welcome you to the 2025 Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship, first edition. That we have a unique team in it since the conference's creation 4 years ago, and that's the Colts who are on the return. Braxton Pugh gets stopped at about the 10-yard line by the Freedom Special Teams unit. Welcome to everyone watching around the world. I'm Spencer Thompson alongside Eli Coronet. Proud to be with you in White House, Tennessee. Eli, two teams that a lot of people really didn't know if they were going to make it to this point. Number 2 seeds in their respective divisions pulled off the upsets in the semifinals and make it here to the 2025 title game.
Yeah, both teams really had to battle for their way to get here. CCS was able to take down the Tennessee Tigers to get here, and the Freedom Cowboys were also able to get revenge on the South Haven Patriots, which also got them here with the help of a healthy Jalen Venter.
Braxton Pugh to the outside after taking that kickoff return. Gets over for a gain of about 2 yards. And Braxton Pugh, the second team for Southeastern Extreme Conference on the running back position. And part of that with having 6 rushing touchdowns as he tries to get things going early on.
Eli, I need you pushed in more, man. Push in. Get rid of this sideline.
Keeping the ball himself is Jace Poulin, the freshman, who will try to get some gain on there, but gets pushed back about a yard for a 3rd and 9.
Tackle made by number 9, Jalen Venter. Brings up 3rd down for the Colts.
At least at Stadium looks like we're having some issues with the game clock. They're trying to fix this.
Timeout.
Flashing back and forth. They'll get it fixed in a moment. And they're going to give teams both a break for water as they try to sort this out. About 10:41 left to go in the first quarter. Freedom Cowboys team that's defending their 3rd straight conference title. Only conference they've been in with joining the SEEC side of things. 9-3 overall record, 4-1 in conference. Managing to beat the team that they faced off against in the championship the last 3 years in the Tennessee Heat, 52-20 in the quarterfinal round and then pulling off an upset against the South Haven Patriots. And semifinal match upsetting one of the teams that's on the top 25 for the 8-man Extreme Southeast rankings in the Patriots. An upset not a lot of people may have noticed or thought it was going to happen heading into that semifinal.
Well, the biggest thing for the Freedom Cowboys is they got healthy and hot at the right time. They were able to take down the Tennessee Heat, and like you just said, Spence, they were able to take down the top seed South Haven Patriots, who arguably were the best team all year, but Freedom just came on late, and they were able to get that revenge upset.
Play resumes. 3rd and 9. Motion on the right side as it's a low snap for Poulin to recover from, but he's not going to recover from that tackle. By Luke Clarity was in the backfield. Seth Hicks credited for the sack.
Yes, looked like Seth Hicks and Julian Harden were both able to get back there to make that sack. So great stop by the Freedom Cowboys to start this 2025 SEEC Championship.
Big loss on the play. This will be one of the more dangerous plays in football with having a punt out of the back of the end zone.
Wouldn't
Eli,
be shocked if
that
they come
punter,
after it.
You can't see the punter, Eli.
It's Jack Pettit in the backfield who boots it away. And a fair catch called at about the 31. Had a bit of issues at first trying to secure it to Jeremiah Butler, and we'll now see the Freedom Cowboys, a team that was led by their star junior last year, Jalen Venter. Here in his senior year, even with only having 3 games total, he already leads the team in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns.
I mean, we've seen him play throughout the years. Jalen Venter is just a dog of an athlete, but we really want to give credit to Jonathan Callan, who went down with an ACL against Tennessee Heat, but he was the one that got him to this point while Jalen was down with his own injury in his own right. So big credit to Jonathan Callan for getting his team to this point.
We'll start on the 32-yard line as Venter will keep it himself. Here's Jalen Venter getting around several defenders, and he will not be stopped. First score in the SEEC Championship game is to Jalen Venter for the touchdown.
And sometimes that's all it takes. One play, one touchdown. Jalen Venter able to get around the edge. The biggest thing that CCS has to do tonight is they have to secure the edge. Jalen Venter is known for going outside. He's known for going inside. And that time he was able to beat them around the edge and put the Freedom Cowboys up 6-0.
First and goal inside of the 5-yard line. This Freedom Cowboys team, very rare when they get great starting field position in most of their matchups, and not even needing that much to march it down for the touchdown here on the 2-point conversion attempt. As the Colts do get a stop on defense there for no 2-point conversion allowed. Brings us to a 6-0 score after all it took was about 38 yards for Freedom Cowboys to march down.
Yeah, they were just able to hit one play, 38 yards, able to drive down there with one play and get a score, and that's what CCS has got to eliminate. They got to eliminate the big plays. They have to really force Freedom to drive down the field. Freedom's also known for really chewing the clock, and really Kyle Collins is really known for being a really good game manager as well. So the biggest thing for for CCS, is to get quick stops, get 3 and outs, and be able to put points on the board. But as of right now, Freedom has the upper hand.
It's also a field dimension size that is standard 8-man football, but not a lot of teams within the Tennessee or even the Southeastern Extreme Conference use it in a 40-by-80. You wonder if that maybe has an effect, but it would be an advantage for the Colts because they play all their home games on here. But Freedom Cowboys, they can play on whatever width dimension you put them on. There's Landon Mildy, the sophomore, with the kickoff here as it's returned back. Braxton Pugh again. He'll try to find some space and almost brought down by Jeremiah Butler as he'll get forced out of bounds. And the Colts will start back on offense with little more breathing room than they had on the last drive.
The biggest thing CCS has to do on this drive is they did it a little bit on the first drive. They have to go over the top. They have to be able to pass the ball. Freedom is known for stopping the run. They got all the big Bama boys up in the middle in the box, so they're going to have to be able to spread it out just a little bit. The other big component that CCS has to do is they have to get Asher Poulin going. Number 31, he's their star player alongside his brother.
They'll fake the handoff. That's Jace Poulin going for the keeper. And he goes up for a couple of yards ahead for a 2nd and 8.
Jace Poulin, like I just brought him up. He's a young guy. He was able to get a lot of valuable playing time this year. Jace Poulin is a guy that CCS has really looked toward the future. But Asher Poulin, as of right now, he's kind of their leader. He's their leader on defense. He's their leader on offense. So pretty much the lifeblood of CCS is running through him right now.
They'll spot it for a gain of 3 yards with a 2nd and 7. This Colts team tries to mix it up a little bit with a pitch to Asher Poulin on the backside and does get a gain, but not enough to get to the line of game. They'll spot him 2 yards short.
And it's going to be a 3rd and short, and that's kind of the biggest thing they got to do. Freedom's big. They're big, but they're not fast. They don't have the speed to get to the outside edges. So if they're able to get around the edge and pass the ball and outside little quick outs, little quick slants, they should be able to drive down the fields. Now, that was a little bit of a toss play, so that's a good start. But they're going to have to keep that going and be able to keep Freedom on their heels if they want to get back into this game.
Baxter and Asher share the same honor this year, being on the 2nd team for the Southeastern Extreme Conference on the running back category. As you got another attempted rush here by Asher Poulin, getting a good spin and getting past several players, tiptoed the sideline a little bit, just outside the 25.
And that's what they got to do. They got to get Asher Poulin going. That was a great job, able to just go straight up the middle. They're basically saying, they're making a statement, we're not afraid of you, Freedom. We're going to go right at you, and that's what they did on that one.
As the Colts are now in Cowboys territory.
Bit of a quick strategy on the offensive side here for
They're going
the
to a
Colts.
bunch formation.
And it's exactly what they do, but it's not going to get the better of the Cowboys defense. Seth Hicks had 2 tackles for loss and 2 sacks coming into the game. He's got it up to 3.
Yeah, CCS was trying to go to their bread and butter on that. And that bunch formation, the slot guy is 9 times out of 10 always going to go vertical. So if they want to get that vertical shot, they're going to use a decoy with the inside slot receiver. They're going to use him on a bubble pattern, and they're going to try to get him as a decoy to allow the Freedom secondary to try to fall asleep. That time, Freedom was not having it. They were able to get the sack. Number 1's on the outside. Look for that jet motion again. Either going to be a keeper or a jet sweep.
Landon Bowles on the 2nd wide receiver honor for the conference, and this Freedom defense is not having any of it. There's Seth Hicks again.
Seth Hicks has had a great year. Let's see, number 41. He's had 25 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. He just added another one on that one. That Freedom defense, you can't really blame Poulin. They kind of got back there in a hurry, but at the same time, you have to make the right read on that. There was no one outside to set the edge, so that should have been a give.
Eli, you got to work on keeping that ball carrier in the middle of the screen. And because like on the near sideline one, I have a scoreboard on the bottom, so I lost him.
Already 2 tackles for loss in this contest for Seth Hicks on that sequence.
You got a 3rd and long, so you got to think. You got to take a vertical shot here.
Receivers to both sides. Scramble for Jace Poulin. He's going to air it out up the left side, looking to get through. Clean coverage there for Briggs Brady. Landon Bowles couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, Briggs Brady was a great job staying in phase on that one. Able to break that one up. Great job there
Eli, on
by the
plays,
sophomore.
Eli, on plays like that, push in on the receiver. So if there's any kind of hand, whatever, we have it. But push in, don't stay zoomed out.
Looks like they are going to go for it on here on 4th and a mile. They're back to that bunch formation. Look, see something sneaky out of this.
Midfield, they go for it. right side. Oh, I beg your pardon, that was on the middle right side. An incomplete pass for a turnover on downs intended for Asher Poulin. And you wonder on those type of decisions if it'll come back to bite them, but it's so hard when you know how powerful Freedom's offense is.
I mean, when you're playing a 3-time SEEC defending champs, you're going to have to take chances like that. So credit to Jordan Flanders trying to get aggressive on that.
The first and 10 for Freedom. Right at the 40-yard line.
Freedom will take over at midfield. And they'll give it off this time to Blake Marcinet. Forced to gain only about 3 or 4 yards there. On the year, only had 4 carries for 21 yards. Coach Collins and company making the decision to rotate him in the rushing side.
And with Jonathan Callan out, Jalen Venter is going to have to get some quarterback reps, so you're probably going to see some new faces in this Freedom rushing attack.
Both head coaches taking the responsibility of offensive coordination for this season, with Kyle Collins and Jordan Flanders. You have Nathaniel Rowley, the assistant offensive coordinator on the Colts sideline. And defensive side, you got Jacob Kinney for the Cowboys that's held the Colts scoreless so far. And Joshua Mansfield trying to coordinate this defense well for the Colts, but a bit of a challenge there when you're trying to bring down Jalen Venter, who pushes for the first down.
Yeah, that time they went right up the middle. You've seen Jalen Venter go outside. This time he went right up the middle and gashed that CCS defense.
It's going to be a first down for Freedom. Ball at the CCS 29-yard line.
And whistles here for a stoppage. The Cowboys are going to burn their first timeout of the game with 4:38 left to go in this first quarter. 6-0 lead for Freedom.
First timeout.
One.
Chance for the Freedom Cowboys to think things over here as they start a first and 10 on the 29-yard line. Venter's going to take it himself again and gets stuffed at the line, but does get a couple yards after contact to the 26.
And that's what CCS has got to do. They're going to have to stop that run and stop the explosive plays. I talked about it a little bit earlier. That was Asher Poulin getting in there and making that stop. So that's going to be very critical. Kind of the key matchup tonight is Asher Poulin against Jalen Venter.
Run to the left side, found a gap, and managed to get through, did Elijah Brown. Led the team coming into this championship game on rush attempts, and he's got a chunk gain there for a first down.
Yeah, Elijah Brown, pretty cool story there. Got hurt against the Tennessee Tigers last year. I don't believe he played in the SEEC Championship last year, so it's very cool to see him out here tonight. He's really had a good breakout senior season.
Gets the team inside the red zone at about the 18-yard line. That's another thing you mentioned earlier about both of these coaches know how to control the tempo in their various games. Cowboys doing just that with being very rush heavy thus far in the game. Here's Venter. This is one of their first passing attempts, and it results in a catch by Marcinet. And he led the team, was tied for the lead with Harden on receiving touchdowns, and the Cowboys are now up 12.
Yeah, we kind of got a little bit of a run, and then Coach Collins brings out the pass, and they're able to complete it on that one, as Cowboys are now up by 2 scores.
Think about it, they make this 2-point conversion attempt. It's still reasonable for the Colts on a 2-possession game, especially when they have Landon Conyer as a kicker, 16 for 19 on extra points, as this does make it a 14-0 game with Venter getting the 2-point conversion.
Freedom 14, CCS 0. Picking off for the Cowboys, number 7, Landon Mild.
And Landon Mild will get the kickoff here for Freedom, sophomore. As this is starting to mirror what the SEEC Championships in the first 2 years were like. One-sided affairs in favor of the Cowboys. Last year the exception, but they're coming down to a 1-possession game on the final stretch. But if Braxton Pugh has anything to say about it, he'll try to put his team in a good position as he pushes just short of the 30-yard line, and the Colts offense will get back to work.
The Colts had a pretty good drive on that last one. The Freedom defense just kind of rose up and was able to stall them out on that. So they had a good little bit of a push on that last drive. They're just going to have to add on to it and try at least to get into the end zone to cut this to a 1-possession game.
This Colts team since 2009, 125 wins and 51 losses overall. They're 14-13 in the postseason coming into this championship game. As there's a bit of a space on the outside. One man to beat, but another one comes out of nowhere. A great burst run by Asher Poulin as he's across midfield.
And that's the other guy we've been bringing up, Asher Poulin, as we are going to get a replay right here.
First down.
Yeah, he's able just to make a couple guys miss, make a couple tackles. He's able to make Jeremiah Butler miss as well, as he's able to pick up that big first down.
Asher Poulin, the rushing workhorse for the Colts, getting it across midfield, leads the team in rushing touchdowns at 9. There's a chance. Jace Poulin airing it out again and trying to go over the pass. It's incomplete. Looks like driver George was tripped up on his own feet there.
Eli, after a play like that, give it about 3 seconds, let him switch, and then you can reset.
He is 2nd and 10 on the 34. Going to the right side on another carry attempt, Asher Poulin. It's swallowed up by about 2 Cowboys defenders. Brings up 3rd down.
And Coach Flanders really likes that jet motion, able to try to cause a little bit of misdirection. That time they're able to give it up the middle. We have not seen one jet sweep yet. We've only seen the motion. So that sweep is going to come eventually, and Freedom's got to be aware of it.
Freedom Cowboys defense with tremendous stats on the tackle side. They have about 3 players who are 30-plus. And their defense has stood strong thus far against the Colts, who try to push through on the left side there. That's Jaden Pelton. Brings up 4th down.
Yeah, that looked like a little bit of a miscue on that, trying to get the ball off on the handoff there, but they're still able to pick up a good amount of yardage to put them in a 4th and manageable. They have to convert right here if they want to stay in this game.
29-yard line.
Second time that the Colts have had an offensive possession, and second time they're going for it on 4th down. Just
Use a motion.
Little less to go with. Right side, good catch. There's Asher Poulin, and it's a touchdown for the Colts, their first of the game.
Yeah, they just hit him on a rail route, and Poulin was able to connect with his brother for a perfect strike to get them within 1, as we see on the replay right here. They brought that motion with Pugh, a little bit of a misdirection. Asher Poulin just kind of sneaks all the way out, and his brother Jace is able to hit him in stride with a perfect strike to get them within 8.
As we mentioned earlier, they do have Landon Conyer, the senior, 16 for 19 on his extra points on the season. Amazing benefit that teams have when they have kicker available, as that is through the uprights and good. 14-7 with 53 seconds left to go in this opening frame of the SEEC Championship game.
53 seconds left to go first quarter, as the Colts trim into the Cowboys lead, 14-7.
Under 60 seconds left to go in this opening quarter, and the Colts have managed to get on the board. There's one thing you know, this is one of the most storied rivalries in the high school 8-man football scene, especially in the Southeast. It seems like every year these teams play, even when they're not on the schedule. Met in the semifinal last year, a lot more one-sided in that contest. And we talked to Coach Flanders about it, and he mentioned you have to win some before you call it a rivalry, but they played 10 times since 2008. And the Cowboys have been on the positive side of that at 7-3, but still an intense match whenever these two face off.
It's not a well-known rivalry, but both teams pride themselves on physicality, and I think that's what makes this matchup so great, as you have teams in SEEC that pride themselves on spreading it out, but these teams are just kind of that old-school hard-nosed, running it up the middle, and we're seeing it right here.
There's also plenty of championships between national and state on both levels, on both of them.
And both sides have their respective national appearances and state championships, certainly for the Colts. And this gets touched in the end zone.
For a touchback.
As regardless if the ball lands down in the end zone in high school football, it does go up for a touchback. So Freedom Cowboys, not much to worry about there, even though Blake Marcinet did touch it. We'll start from the 20-yard line. Farthest back that the Cowboys have had to worry about on their third possession in terms of where they start the ball.
And this is going to be key for CCS. You're going to have to stop the explosive play because, as we all know, number 9 in white can bust one at any point for 75 yards. So they're going to really have to keep him contained and try to get the ball back.
With the 80-yard dimension, it's a touchback that'll start on the 15-yard line. Motion, and who else but Jalen Venter to possess the ball for the Freedom Cowboys as he keeps it himself, gain of a yard or two. And those type of plays are what the Colts defense needs to do if they want to shut them down.
Yeah, the biggest thing for CCS is they got a gang tackle. Just ask the Tennessee Heat. They faced Jalen Venter the last 2 years, and they weren't able to do it. So CCS has had time to watch the film, study, and they know that 9 is a hard guy to break down. It's not just going to take 1, it's going to take all 8, and that was a prime example of it right there.
Venter usually not stuffed like that around the line of scrimmage. Managed to gain a yard from there as he's alone in the backfield. Does have a player in motion, and he will hand it off as this will go for a gain of maybe a yard or two. It looked like that was Elijah Brown carrying it there on the motion, and that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. They'll swap sides of the field Third down will come up here. 1 quarter down, 3 more to go in the 2025 SEEC Championship.
One.
On your feet.
Started the second quarter here in White House, Tennessee.
It's third.
Third down and 5 coming up here for the Freedom Cowboys. And really not something that the Cowboys have had to be faced with this often on the season. Most of the time they've gotten their big breaks on first and second downs, hardly in the third or fourth down category. This Freedom team since 2006, 128 wins, 76 losses, 6-0 in playoffs, specifically counting their time here in the Southeastern Extreme Conference coming into today.
Big third down here for the Cowboys.
Lead by 7. Venter up the middle. He's going to be stopped short of the line to gain. There's one thing we know about Kyle Collins and his offensive coordination. On close situations like that, don't be surprised if he goes for it.
Yeah, with it being 4th and short, expect another dose of number 9 to pick up this first down.
That brings up 4th down for Freedom.
Freedom Cowboys team coming into this competition on a 3-game winning streak, including their 2 playoff wins. Even with this team graduating 10 seniors last year, they have 14 they're graduating this year.
Oh, I don't know if he got that.
Trip
Looked like he
forward,
slipped.
and the spot may be a little generous even with the slip, and they will move the chains for a first down.
I don't know. That looked a little – it looked like he might have slipped. Oh, no, that was a little bit questionable there. It looks like he had slipped and his knee was down. So we got a replay right there. I don't know. It's just kind of too tough to tell on that one.
Especially on the slanted angle. But the officials do give the first down here.
Looks like we do. We might have another replay here. Well, first down, Cowboys.
The play moves on. Here's Venter. He'll hand it off. And a space up the middle, spinning out of several tackles and past midfield. A great carry, Sterling Hershey, who had 10 rushes for 103 yards on the year.
Yeah, again, you're going to see a lot of faces you didn't see in the regular seasons. Hershey being one of them. Hershey was a featured back this regular season, but great pickup there by the young man and get another first down for the Cowboys.
Anytime Hershey's carried the ball thus far, he gets about 10.3. First down anytime he's carrying it. He continues that trend with this drive continuing on the 39-yard line in Colts territory. We'll send a Hershey in motion again, but Venter will keep it himself as he goes to avoid several tackles. Had one man to beat, but got forced out of bounds by driver George, but not before he gets in the red zone.
Yeah, that time it was just kind of a prime example of what number 9 can do. He goes right up the middle, was able to make a couple people miss, break 2 tackles, break another one. A great block there by number 20, Sterling Hershey, who we just saw on the rush beforehand. Great job, great teamwork there to pick up that first down. That one was number 9, but it was a great effort by the entire offense on that play.
From the 15, Cowboys looking to get back their 2-score lead. Hershey will get the ball in motion to the left side. One man to beat. Gets forced on a stop, but just short of the goal line.
Number 20, Sterling Hersey. Tackle on the far side made by number 18, Niall Cornett.
2 carries already for Hershey in the game. He's gotten 10-plus yards on both carries.
First down and
Yeah,
goal
and that was just a
for
little bit
the
of a jet
Cowboys.
sweep play. He was able to get the edge again. Venter's been able to get the edge. Now Hershey was able to accomplish that same thing. They got CCS on their heels right now.
Push in, Eli. Push in.
Hershey in the backfield this time with Venter, who will keep it himself but gets
I don't think he
stopped
got
at
that.
the line. They won't give the forward
Venter
progress to him, and that's a big
runs into
defensive
number
play
4,
made
Braxton
by the
Pugh with
Colts
big hit.
as that's
Number 55.
yeah, that's Milan Bernard who got the tackle done. That was an offensive lineman, second team member for the conference this year.
Yeah, he was able to get. Yeah, he was just able to get there, and a host of Colts was there to help him. Great stop there by the CCS defenses. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to meet him in his tracks, and you have to do great pitch perfect form tackle like he was able to accomplish right there.
Always love to see great camera shots like that on the sideline there, especially a goal line stand. Venter trying to push through. Did he break the plane? He did. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Well, we got one ref saying touchdown. We got one more saying not. That one was really close. Let's see here on the replay.
Might be some of the offensive or defensive linemen blocking the shot here.
He was. It looks like to me he was short off of that angle. They say he lost yardage on that. Yeah, on that angle, it looks like he was a little bit short.
And the coaches do have a chance to challenge. We have Mike Walker, our replay official, who is possibly
On the
looking at
field
this.
is touchdown.
All right, yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to replay and see if they've got the right angle here, which you want to get it right. And you mentioned you saw in the replay there, not quite sure if by that angle.
It depends on what the ruling on the field was.
Yep.
Now, the angle was blocking it a little bit. Looked like to me he might have been a little bit short, but I don't know. Backing them up 2 yards was the correct decision. But they are reviewing it as of right now. I don't know. That was just really close. So if they don't have enough video evidence, the ruling on the field was touchdown, so it would be a touchdown if that's the case.
It's like you mentioned, you have one signal ruling touchdown from one of the officials on the near side to where Venter was. Far side said no touchdown on the side where sideline camera is. And they'll get a chance to review, and obviously want to make sure they get it right.
The ruling of the call of a touchdown is upheld.
Review upheld. Probably not enough evidence for them to overturn it, and brings us to 20-7.
Yeah, and again, that angle was a little bit too congested for us to really tell.
Penalty marker flies.
And dirty laundry on the field. And at least a benefit there. Each of the coaches,
Dead ball.
there's a false start called on the Cowboys. That's the benefit at least. Both the coaches do have one challenge. They keep it if it's successful, but replay initiated that review. So Coach Flanders was looking at possibly challenging there, didn't have to use it as it came from upstairs.
I think both coaches were thinking about using it just depending on what the
call
was, yeah.
in games where challenges or replay has been available, Coach Kyle Collins has not used one challenge.
We got a new quarterback in, number 7.
They're going to trust Landon Mild on this play as he goes across the middle, overthrew his intended target of Marcinet. Incomplete.
8:14 left to go, first half.
Brings us down 20-7. 8:14 left to go in the first half.
What?
Freedom Cowboys not able to get a 2-point conversion. Makes it 20-7
Number 4, Braxton.
on a touchdown that went to the review side of things, and call on the field was upheld. Deep boot by the sophomore, return attempt by the junior. Pugh trying to find a gap, and he gets past several players. A good gain to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and Pugh has had several good returns in this game. You just kind of get the feeling he's going to break one at some point. That time he was able to pick up a good 35 yards on that return.
That's really been the highlight of this game thus far for the Colts has been special teams, with Pugh driving down the field and getting his team in a good position, and certainly the touchdown from Asher Poulin as well. At least the special team side has helped keep the Colts in it.
Putting Poulin in motion.
There's motion, Poulin outside, maybe just short of the line to gain. About a yard for a 2nd and 9, or 2nd and 1.
And that's kind of the key, like I mentioned earlier. The biggest thing they got to do is they got to get on the outside edges. Freedom is too big and too strong up front. You're going to have to get the outside, get to the perimeter, and they're able to do that on that screen.
And Jacob Kinney, the defensive coordinator for Freedom Cowboys team, having a lot of good guys to work with on the defensive line.
Going with the same play. You're going deep now.
Jace Poulin on the deep toss, and it's another catch in coverage. Driver George with the catch, and inside the red zone once again are the Colts.
Yeah, Driver George with a great catch. We're going to get a replay right here. They're just in that twins tight formation. They send Poulin in motion. He just was able to beat his man one-on-one and go up and over and bring that one down on the go route. Great catch.
Again, Eli, you got to push in on those catches, man.
Another handoff. Asher Poulin trying to push through. He's got it again. 2 touchdowns for Poulin, this time on a rush.
Yeah, was just able to go up the middle and hit the outside. We're going to get a replay right here.
Touchdown.
It was just an inside zone play. He was able to get outside. His younger brother Jace made the right read on that one. He was just able to get up and get in the end zone to make it another one-possession game given the PAT try.
Another PA attempt from Landon Conyer. And that one looks like it went on the outside of the fence. This field, a combined baseball and football and soccer field at May Flanders Field, and gets the PAT 6-point game. 7:20 left to go in this first half as the Colts manage to get it within 6.
One.
Conyers set to kick it off.
30-yard line where these kickoffs
Number 16
occur
play,
here.
Mark Annette back deep to receive for the Cowboys.
Asher Poulin was already leading the team at 9 rushing touchdowns on the year, is up to 10 on his total after getting it on the right side of the goal line. You have to think this Colts defense at some point has to get a stop. As you have a return here, and special teams may not make the stop. One man to beat. That's a return from Blake Marcinette all the way for a touchdown.
And he just ran that one in a straight line. That was just a straight speed kill play right there. He was able to get a great block from his teammates, and at that point, it was just beat the kicker, and he just beat him with the most simple thing you can beat him with, which is speed. He was able to accomplish that to put the Cowboys, back on top by 2 scores.
Eli on that one, go ahead and push in on the returner, like if they're close, just in case he gets pushed out of bounds.
And it looked like on that play he started from the end zone or almost at the goal line, so about a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown. Venter on the 2-point conversion attempt. Alone, he'll keep it to the right side, and he's got it in the goal line for another 2. Makes it a 14-point game again, 7:07 remaining in this first half.
Freedom 28,
Going to break, going to break.
14. Back deep to receive for the
Freedom
Colts.
Cowboys with a
Number
roster
4,
total of
Braxton
53
Hughes.
players, total of 47 on the other side for the Colts. Look at these sidelines. It almost looks like it's an 11-man roster with they have so many players in support, part of these respective systems. Inside the 20, this is picked up. Jaden Pelton, first player other than Braxton Pugh to return the ball, and he brings it up to the 31.
Return by number 5, Jaden Pelton.
Mentioned that the Cowboys have 14 seniors that will be graduating after this season. The Colts 8 after they graduated 9 in the 2024 campaign. You also have 13 juniors for Christian Community.
Going with that motion again. They're going to give it now.
As Landon Bowles will get a good gain of about 7 yards.
They kind of lulled him to sleep a little bit on that jet, keep, jet dive. And that time they actually give it on the jet sweep, able to get 5 yards.
It looked like he may have stretched out for the extra yard or 2, but given credit of 5 yards on the gain to the 36. Landon Bowles, a part of the all-conference second team on the wide receiver side. Can also do it on the ground as he's in motion again. And up the middle, a first down for Braxton Pugh as he gets across midfield. Notice how it took about 4 Cowboy defenders to bring him down?
Yeah, I mean, both teams are very, very physical, very aggressive. You see on the replay, it took about 3 or 4 to get him down, able to drive his legs. And again, both these teams pride themselves on physicality and strength, and you're seeing it in prime example right here as the CCS Colts are going to go with that twins formation again with that jet motion. Look for a give.
And they'll move that back 5 yards for the Colts, so they'll get back in their own territory.
Dead ball. False start. 77 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Reaching first down.
So junior Jack Hensley who's called for the false start, one of the big offensive linemen. And they've actually got an offensive lineman coach for the Colts, Jason Zimmerman, former head coach for the South Haven Christian School Patriots, led him to that 2017 conference title back several years ago against the team he's coaching for now.
Going with that jet again.
Yeah, Landon Bowles again. We'll get a gain of about a yard or two. Try to gain back some of that penalty yardage just short of midfield.
Yeah, and that time, number 41, Seth Hicks, was able to snuff that one out. Great job there by Hicks, able to fill it. Freedom didn't really let it stretch out to its full potential, what it could have been. It could have been a really good game, but great job by the inside backer, Hicks, able to make that stop.
Yeah, Hicks had 25 tackles, 22 of them on his own heading into this conference championship. One of those guys on the defensive side who knows how to read rushes and get things done. Quick sling. Driver George from behind the line weaves out 2 tackles to tiptoe the sideline, gets to about the 30. He will be short of the line to gain, but about a big 10-plus yard gain on that reception.
Eli, I've got the scoreboard on the bottom. You got to bring that down.
It's going to bring up 3rd down. Ball spotted at the Freedom 30-yard line.
Good chunk gain there to get back those penalty yards for a 3rd and 3.
You got to think you're going to get a dose of Asher Pullen on this one, 3rd and short.
And the Poulin brothers were in the backfield. There he goes, right on cue. Asher Poulin with his 2nd receiving touchdown in this championship.
Poulin goes in for the Shrums dumpster.
Yeah, we're going to see they went through that motion with Pugh, able to sneak Poulin out again. They went rail to the same side. Now they go to the opposite side of the motion, able to get him into the end zone again for his 2nd score of the night. Sorry, excuse me, 3rd score of the night.
2 of them on the receiving side. Got 1 on the ground as well. This junior gets the game within 8 points. Chance for this to be 7. And a high snap, and they'll just let it fall to the ground, so that extra point attempt will be not even considered on that. It's just a PAT unsuccessful. 28-20. 4:34 remaining in this first half as the Freedom Cowboys get a stop there on the PAT. And it's nice to have that luxury of a kicker on those sides. And you wonder, because of the Freedom Cowboys not really having a kicking option, when Coach Flanders will decide to do more 2-point conversion attempts.
Well, right now you're within 8 points, so you're going to have to go for 2 points at some point. But it is a great luxury to have that, knowing that you have something reliable like a great kicker. You're seeing it a little bit more and more around 8-man. You see a lot of more teams trying to attempt field goals and extra points, so that's really cool to see. It's kind of over the past 10 years, it's been mostly 2-point conversions, but now you're seeing 8-man really trying to adapt to 11-man ways, one of those being field goals.
Eli, can you try to level it just a little bit more, maybe after this kickoff?
Picking off for the Colts, number 3, Landon Conyers. Back deep to receive for the Cowboys, number 16, Blake Marconet.
It's a little crooked.
We keep it up on this pace. We're getting towards a combined 100 points for both teams. As this gets booted deep and will bounce out into the end zone for a touchback.
Goes through the end zone.
Second time that the Freedom Cowboys will start out on the 15-yard line.
Eli, go ahead and level it out. Go ahead and level yours out. It's just a hair crooked.
Is that better?
Let me see. Switch him up. Yeah, that's better. That's
okay.
Better. Thanks, dude.
It's such a luxury as well for the Freedom Cowboys to have Jalen Venter back in the swing of things.
How do I do that?
You see how you might have to adjust the legs or the little handle underneath. You can do it after this play. Sorry, Spence, go ahead.
We'll get into that after this play. Is Venter alone in the shotgun? He's got a man out to his right. That's comes up and helps him block as Venter tries to get through, gets tripped up for a gain of about 6. But Jalen Venter, Coach Collins was telling us that he tore his ankle in spring. He was running track and field in the spring, and he's worked hard all year. Opening week of the season, he had surgery to get back. And Coach said he's a horse and mentioned going into this game he's probably not 100%, but I don't see any sign of him being below that.
Jalen Venter?
Yep.
I mean, he's definitely 100% healthy now. They rested him all throughout the year because he sustained a track injury, as we get this play right here with Elijah Brown.
Yeah, Elijah Brown on the right side had the most rushing attempts for the Freedom Cowboys on the year. Gets up to the 30-yard line, averages about 8.6 yards per rush out of the 467 he had.
Yeah, you see on this replay, he's just able to make a couple guys miss and able to break free. But going back to Jalen Venter, like you just said, Spence, he was not healthy all throughout the year. Sustained an ankle injury, actually got surgery in the middle of the year, really wasn't healthy. Played against the Tennessee Tigers, really was probably about 75%. Was able to play against Riverside and the Tennessee Heat. Once Jonathan Callan went down, he was about 100% at that point and really led them to here where they are when they beat the South Haven Patriots last week.
He was a major star for the team in 24, still in 25, as Sterling Hershey gets the ball again. The only carry he's had on the game where he hasn't gone 10 yards gets stopped by the defensive line of the Colts.
Brings up second down for the Cowboys. Ball spotted at the CCS.
And this clock is rolling. So Coach Collins probably wants to keep CCS from getting another score, so they're going to take their time. They're in 4-minute offense right now.
Venter with another handoff. Left side on the carry. Sterling Hershey again. He's got a breakout, and he's going to go all the way for a touchdown. Got rid of Landon Bowles on the attempted tackle.
Yeah, he was able to break around the outside. He was just kind of in a cluster right there. Was able to get the outside, and again, speed kills. He's able to get the edge, hit the sideline, and get north and south, and get her back to a two-score lead. Freedom gets the ball to start the second half, so if you get a stop, you're able to score to start the second half, you're going to be up 3 scores. So very important score there for the Freedom Cowboys because they've been on their heels on defense. CCS is pretty much, after that first drive, been able to score at will. So very important score for the Cowboys right there.
Venter on the keeper. Going in, 2-point conversion, he's good. And that'll make it a 16-point game now, 36-20. Freedom Cowboys starting to take a commanding lead, unless the Colts have something to say about it.
You see it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
36-20. Freedom Cowboys managing to get in the end zone again, and now you have a 16-point difference where you wonder if 2-point conversion attempts will be in the back of the mind of the coaching staff for the Colts. If it comes to that, still plenty of time, as Pugh will go on the return again. Gets past 2 potential tacklers, almost 3, but a good wrap-up tackle by Jeremiah Butler at the 25.
Tackle made by number 16, Blake Martinet.
This Colts team, this is their first appearance in the Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship. The last time they appeared in a title game, their respective conference, was in 2023, where they lost by 2 points to Franklin Christian. last win for them was here on their home field, 26-0 victory against the Webb School. The year before, the Webb Feet moved up to 11-man football.
Now you got Pugh in the slot. Look for that little bit of motion. There it comes.
From about the 26, there's Braxton Pugh again as he goes up. They'll spot him at about the 30-yard line.
And that time, Pugh just kind of went to the heart of the Freedom defense. He had the edge if he really wanted it. He just turned that one inside, and that was a little bit of an easy stop for the Cowboys.
A lot of timeouts for both teams. Also on the run plays, Eli push in on those.
And you also wonder, with about 2 minutes, you got the Colts have 3 timeouts. Freedom has 2, so neither team really using them down the stretch. Maybe if there's a third down situation.
Well, you got 1:45 left, so you got to think Coach Flanders is thinking about that. It's probably in his back pocket, waiting to use them. Going in motion again.
It's again, here's Poulin left side on the incomplete pass. He did manage to pull it in, but his feet were not down in bounds per the official.
Yeah, and that time they took a shot. Now you're in a 3rd and long. Not necessarily a passing situation because you are in pretty good field position where you can go for it. But again, you don't want to give Freedom the ball back, so you really got to consider it right now.
It's also a benefit on that because the Freedom Cowboys didn't have to burn a timeout on potentially getting the ball back at here because they did defer as well, so the Cowboys will get the ball to start the second half. So a big drive here for the Colts.
You don't want to be down 4 scores if you do decide to go for it. So you got to think if they don't get this, maybe a punt is something to consider. You're going with that same wheel route.
Same up top. A good bat by the defender, and Sterling Hershey prevented the catch from being made by Jack Pettit.
He went to Hershey, but again, his brother Asher was wide open in the flat, turning up on that rail route again. Probably looked for something different because probably thought Freedom was going to sniff that out on that. Decided to go with the other option. That one just didn't work out for him. They are going to punt to try to put Freedom back, but Freedom does have 3 timeouts still, so they do have a chance to go up by 3 scores, maybe even 4.
At least with our count, they got 2 timeouts.
Two timeouts.
Now, the Colts have 3, so if they wanted to get a stop on the defensive side and get the ball back, they certainly could. But just like you mentioned, it will be punted away by Jack Pettit as it takes a lucky Colt bounce all the way inside the 5.
That was an excellent punt.
So for anyone who's seen the Freedom Cowboys throughout this year, it doesn't matter where you put them on the field. They can march down in any amount of time.
1:11 left to go here in the first half. Freedom leading CCS 36
Going to break.
20.
(36-20), minute 11 left to go in this first half. The Cowboys start on their own 5-yard line. Venter's going to pass it up top. Got the catch, Briggs Brady. The sophomore trying to tiptoe the sideline, forced out of bounds by Driver George. And just like we mentioned, doesn't matter the time, the Cowboys can push.
Yeah, it was just a quick strike, hit him on a corner route. He's able to get north and south and put them in scoring position in CCS. CCS is part of the field, excuse me.
Down for the Cowboys. Ball will be spotted at the CCS 27-yard line.
It's good now. I know, it was just weird that the angle we had it when you're like in the end zone. It was just weird.
From the 27-yard line, 60 seconds now left as Sterling Hershey will carry it. He'll be stopped at about the 21.
They went back to the same jet play that way, but this time CCS was able to snuff that out. Looked like Jackson Pettit was the first one to get there. Jackson Pettit, a name we haven't really called out a lot. Started his career out at Franklin Classical, came home to CCS, and has had a really good career and is hoping to end his senior season the right way.
Direct snap. Venter has got some space. He'll get stopped, but not before he gets a first down, and they'll spot him inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
And a name we have not heard.
Timeout, Freedom Cowboys. Their second charge, timeout.
And a name we haven't heard a lot on Freedom side is Eli Carr, dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury tonight. Haven't really seen or heard of him a lot tonight. Just kind of wondering when he is going to get into this game. Played a very pivotal role last year, ending the Tennessee Heat's hopes of winning their first SEEC championship last year. So very important piece. Quarterback of the defense, all-conference player. So really wondering when he's going to get involved with this Freedom team tonight.
Second defensive back team for the Southeastern Extreme Conference. Mentioned that Coach Collins mentioned that he embraced the leadership role heading into his senior year. He's essentially the coach of our defense and really enjoys playing. Called him a scrappy player as well. And as you mentioned, it's tough to fight through those injuries sometimes, and manages to do it fairly well. .28 seconds. Freedom Cowboys have 1 timeout, but they have 4 downs to get to the end zone, and they're going to trust Elijah Brown, who only needs 1 play. Touchdown, Freedom.
Just a simple dive play there by the Cowboys. So we get a replay. Great patience there by Elijah Brown, able to find the crease and get into the end zone to put CCS up by, Freedom up by 22.
Elijah Brown with this rushing touchdown, and he had the most rushing attempts through season for Cowboys, 54. Toss, quick, left side, 2-point conversion's good. Briggs Brady has got it, and now 44-20, 24-point difference between the Colts and the Cowboys as we get to the final seconds here before halftime at 21.
And we're back live. Oh my gosh. I got to tilt my head for this one.
Booted deep. Brooks Pugh on kickoff return again. Maybe special teams can get a spark here as Pugh spins out of a tackle. Tries to weave around. He'll get to about the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. And the Colts will have 10 seconds to work with if they want to try to do anything before the end of the first half. Just a tough amount of time to think about doing anything. They do have 3 timeouts, but
you do have 3 timeouts, but maybe you want to think about you have 3 timeouts, you're down by 3 scores, so you really only have 2 plays to get a shot. They're going to go to that twins tight formation. Look for them. Sorry, they're going to go doubles tight formation. They're probably going to take a shot.
That's results instead a quick sling to Jack Pettit on the right side, and Coach Flanders will call his first timeout with 2 seconds. That play took up a lot of time.
Took it a long time to develop, so you now only have 1 shot.
2 seconds left to go.
Timeout, community. There's their first charge.
I guess the whistle isn't loud enough to be heard up here, so it needs to also go out on the broadcast. Derek Brookshire and company. A lot of good officials in the Mid-State Officiating Association. As now a second down with 2 seconds left. You mentioned the Colts have one shot. I know Hail Mary seems to be like a cliche.
That kind of seems like the only shot you do have here. Either you do that, or I don't even think you can get a quick little hook and lateral. Maybe that's pretty much your other choice. But you're down by 3 scores, so you need a little bit of a prayer to end this first half. Again, credit to CCS. They've done a really good job driving down the field, just haven't been able to stop anything on defense. Sorry.
Go left some.
Looks like they are going to go.
And we got a whistle here. Officials having a discussion about something. Just maybe making sure the chains are all situated. Possibly the final play of the first half. Poulin will pitch it out. Several pitches, and Jace Poulin will air it out. What a trick play! Asher Poulin has several players to beat, couldn't get past him, but what a play cooked up by Jordan Flanders.
They didn't go a single reverse. They didn't go double reverse. They went triple reverse, able to hit him on the same route he's been able to score on all night. Just not able to get in the end zone. Several Freedom defenders were there to make the stop.
The CCS Colts 20.
And that'll end the first half. 44-20. The Freedom Cowboys with a 24-point lead over the Christian Community Colts. We'll be back in about 15 here from White House, Tennessee for coverage of the second half.
One, go.
44-20, the score at the start of the second half. Freedom Cowboys will get the ball. 2025 Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship. And have to realize they have to swap sides of the field again every quarter. And gets us to where we are now. The Colts have at least managed to generate some good offensive drives throughout this first half. The challenge has been getting defensive stops because, at least by my count, Cowboys have scored every time they possess the ball.
Yes, they have. It's been a great part of the run game. Freedom has really controlled the run game. They had that one pass to, I believe it was number 16, Marcinet. Venter was able to connect with him. Besides that, it's been number 9. Hershey, number 20, got involved a little bit. And then on the flip side, CCS, they've been able to score at will pretty much too. They just had a few stalled drives in the beginning of the game, and then it was the Asher Pullen show from there. And they almost were able to score on that last play before the end of the first half. So if you're CCS, you're going to have to get a 3 and out. You're down by 4 scores at this point.
Surprise onside kick to start the second half, and the Cowboys were all over it. Good awareness by Landon Mild.
So now Freedom's going to have really good field position. So if you're CCS, this drive is pivotal. You're going to have to get a stop.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Eli, but it even caught me off guard where they started coming back and then had the circle on there. But, I mean, I guess with Freedom receiving the ball in the second half, you understand why they attempted it. So now a 1st and 10 for the Cowboys with probably their best field advantage of the game. 37-yard line, and the ball is fumbled, mishandling, and lucky to fall back on it. Very rare moment to see from Jalen Venter.
Good start for the CCS defense. I was talking to Coach Steve Adams. See if you have – it was a fumble. He's able to get back on it. I was talking to Coach Steve Adams of the Tennessee Tigers at halftime, and he's faced both these teams many times over the years. And he said CCS pretty much at will need to stop Jalen Venter running side to side. That's what it kind of has done all year. So it's pretty cool to get another coach's perspective on this.
There goes Elijah Brown up the middle. We'll get back some of those lost yards there and then some. Make it about a 3rd down and 6, maybe a 3rd down and 7.
Big 3rd down stop. You're going to have to – this is probably going to be another dose of number 9. Or a little bit of surprise pass. We saw it on a 3rd down earlier when they were in the red zone. We're able to get that second score. So CCS, you have to be ready for anything here. They are in that double wing, so it looks like you're going to get a double pull right here.
From about the 35, Venter again on his own will be forced out of bounds. He'll get the first down, at least pending the spot. Looked at first like the side official was spotting it for a first down, but it'll be a yard short for a 4th and
brings up 4th down.
Actually, maybe about a 4th and 2, 4th and 1.
Looks like maybe we'll compromise, call it 4th and 1.5.
Early in the second half.
And there has not been a time in this competition where the Freedom Cowboys have failed to convert on a 4th down. Haven't had to face it that much anyway.
Well, I mean, there's a first time for everything. But, again, you're probably going to get another dose of number 9. They're coming out in that same formation. Now they're going to come out. It almost looks like a double, what'd you call that, a wing T maybe?
And Venter will push forward for the first down. Seems almost automatic any time the star senior gets the ball.
Yeah, they went double up backs on that. Just kind of a shotgun version of a tush push right there. Was able to pick up another first down.
And I'll have a substitution on the Cowboys side. Julian Harden will head out, the sophomore. Gotten a little bit involved on the offensive side. Out at the 26-yard line.
Going twins to the near side.
Venter with a run, met by a couple of Colt defenders. They're on the tackle. Number 21, Jack Pettit.
Good job there by CCS. Able to set the edge that time. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to stop Jalen Victor from getting to the
Actually, no
outside edge
gain.
and hitting that sideline and
Second
getting a
down and 10.
full steam of speed. So good job there. You're just going to have to do that for potentially 2 to 3 more downs.
Venter with Brown to his left. Stop for no gain on that last play for 2nd and 10 here. Venter will look for the pass. Deep toss, left side, overthrew his intended target, and no pass interference on there. There is a flag.
Incomplete. And there is a penalty marker down.
Yeah, I had a lot of people we could hear on the sidelines who were calling
At the
for it.
2-yard line.
And looked like maybe there was some contact as Blake Marcinet was trying to go back to the ball.
Looks like there might have been a little bit of contact right before the ball was thrown.
I think it was one of the.
I don't know. I didn't see that one.
I think it was just. We'll get the call here. They are moving the ball up, so that's likely what it'll be.
Pass interference.
Against the
10 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And that's called on driver George, and that was McDonald.
That's not in high school.
And
High school.
I beg your pardon, that was George and Marcinet. Marcinet trying to come back to it, and I guess it was just a body block that they called for, the pass interference. But first down here, going up the middle, trying to push for the carry. It's a 1st and goal. Another big carry by Elijah Brown.
They just went another power play to Elijah Brown. They really like getting a big body up there in the middle. You got to give number 9 a little bit of a break, so 18 is kind of your counter for that. You have Hershey going outside, and you have Brown going inside. So great job there by Coach Collins, kind of mixing it up there with the run game.
Ball spotted close to the 2-yard line. Probably right at the 2.5-yard line.
Expect another dose of 18.
Combination of 18 and 9 for the Cowboys' offensive side has been dangerous throughout this game, and the Colts have struggled to respond to it. As there's your dose of Elijah Brown, and he's going to push in for another Cowboys touchdown.
Number 18, Elijah Brown, goes into the end zone.
Yeah, they ran the same play, but he was able to get outside. Great read, great patience there by 18, getting outside and getting in for another Freedom Cowboys touchdown.
Come on, Dylan.
30-point difference now between these two teams.
Hey, Graham, I'm on Graham.
Venter, toss right side, overthrew his target intended of Jeremiah Butler. So that'll keep the difference at 30 points, 50-20. Freedom leading over Christian Community.
Kicking off for the Cowboys, number 7.
Least in the history of the Southeastern
Mildy.
Extreme Conference Championships,
Back
this will
receive for
be
the Colts, number 4, Braxton
getting
Pugh.
close to the largest combined score in history. First year was combined 74 points. Second year, lower score at 36-12, getting up to 48. And this gets booted away. Pugh, from about the 5-yard line, he'll pitch it back. They'll trust Asher Poulin to try and get something going as he avoids one tackle, but can't get past the rack up of Marcinet.
Yeah, they went a little bit of reverse on there, trying to get a little bit of a spark.
Gets out pass.
But the Cowboys were able to stay home and make that stop.
See where they spot him at. Just past the
Yeah, 74
line.
points is the total highest combined score for the Southeastern
First and
Extreme
10
Conference
for the Colts.
Championship thus far. That first year with 54-20 victory for the Freedom Cowboys over the Tennessee Heat. CCS trying to get things going. What a one-handed catch there by Braxton Pugh.
Nice
Had to
catch.
hook it in towards
By
his
number
body.
4,
He got a
Braxton
catch
Pugh.
for good gain
It's a
to the
one-hand
28.
snag,
Yeah, good
land on
connection
the
from
ground.
Pullen to Pugh on a drive route.
Ground foul on the play.
Oh, sorry, a whip route. He was able to get that. What a great catch. He did get that. He got his arm underneath. Great job.
Great angle for no doubt on that being a catch either. Sometimes have those catches going close to the ground. Poulin, quick sling. Pugh again, first down. Pugh a little bit more. One man to beat, but forced out of bounds there. Good save by Briggs Brady, but a big first down for the Colts.
Picks up a
Yeah, they went another play action. Hit him on a corner route, able to get to the outside. Briggs Brady able to stop him with a touchdown saving tackle. Pugh coming alive a little bit on this drive.
In Cowboys territory on the 36, Christian Community trying to get things going, and a deep toss across the middle, diving incomplete. That ball will bounce on the ground. We do have a flag in the backfield, and I believe they are going to call roughing the passer as Jace Poulin got hit in the face mask under pressure.
Personal foul.
Personal foul.
Roughing the passer.
passer
15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
against Freedom.
First down.
It's going to be a 15-yard penalty and result in a Coach Dan one-click
So a good break for the Colts as they move it all the way down to about the 21-yard line.
That was a little bit of a break that they needed. They're still down by 5 scores. So a touchdown is necessary right here.
Poulin will keep it himself. Got pulled down from behind from the man who was in front of him at first, Julian Harden with the tackle.
Julian Harden is another guy for the Freedom Cowboys who has come on strong. Had a quiet freshman season, got kind of thrusted into a starting role last year, and then this year he's made really big strides. Was in the Gatlinburg All-American Bowl Rising Stars game last year, and has had a kind of a breakout year this year for
Pugh with the catch. Gets past. Pugh touched by Jalen Venter to prevent him from going towards the end zone, but it does result in a first and goal.
Like I was saying, Julian Harden is has had a breakout year this year and has done a really good job for the Coach Collins Lake Cowboys.
First and goal on the 9-yard line. Poulin rolling out to his left, a short pass. Good catch there for Asher Poulin. Let's get maybe a yard or two gain there. But the challenge you have now is, as you mentioned, down 5 scores. They're taking too long to get these touchdowns as we're well past the halfway point in the third quarter.
Yeah, Freedom is pretty much giving them what they'll take, and they're preventing the explosive play. So that's going to get you a lot of time off the clock.
Poulin under pressure. He's going to be sacked. Big sack made by Blake Martinet.
Yeah, and they went into that doubles type formation, and he just came free. Martinet came free, was able to get that big sack.
Christian Community. First charge. Timeout.
Third quarter.
And the Colts will burn their first timeout
Hey, we're going to break.
later
We're
in
going to break.
this third quarter. 50-20, Colts trying to get another score. Colts with 2 timeouts remaining. Coach Flanders getting the last-minute coordination in there, talking to Braxton Pugh as he gets back on the field. In his 11th season, about around that 83-35 overall record, as Poulin gets sacked again, and it's Marquette again.
Number 16, Blake.
And last time Marquette came free, we're going to see what happened right here. He was just able to take on the block, went inside on that, and was able to get that second consecutive sack.
So 4th and goal at the 28-yard line. Barring a defensive penalty, 1 play to get to the end zone. Here's Poulin slinging it. Pugh couldn't spin out of the tackle. It will be a turnover on downs on the 15-yard line.
It's going to be a turnover on downs.
The offensive struggles unfortunately continue for the Colts of Christian Community, as they really have not had an answer against the stellar Freedom Cowboys secondary.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when a bunch of guys on both teams are playing both ways, so fatigue is a factor.
First and 10 on about the 15-yard line for the Freedom Cowboys as they start out new offensive drive after forcing a turnover. Elijah Brown with a carry up the middle. And it's a gain of about 5 or 6 yards there to about the 20. And that's pretty much been the strategy of the game that's worked so well for the Cowboys. Mentioned that Elijah Brown getting that, can't say daily, but regular dose throughout the offensive drives. And if Elijah isn't going to get to you, then Jalen Venter's going to get to you.
And if he's not going to get to you, Hershey's going to get to you.
Quarterback keeper by number 9, Jalen Venter.
First down for the Freedom Cowboys. Another good carry on the left side there.
And as of right now, they do have a 30-point lead, so the mercy rule is in effect. The clock is going to continue to roll. So Coach Collins is trying to keep his kids healthy because they are going to Florida next week to face Tri-State out of Indiana. So you're going to have to keep these guys healthy.
We know the Freedom Cowboys talked with Coach Collins about their sort of postseason journey. Of course, joining the conference, they gave a lot of praise to SEEC and being able to join it. As this carry goes up the middle, Sterling Hershey to the 35. They'll spot him at the 34 for about a gain of 5 or 6. He mentioned that our postseason was Florida in the national championship tournament, but now that they're in SEEC, it gives them a little flexibility. First year that they were in SEEC, they made the decision early on to not go to Florida. Coach Collins talked about that, where he felt as a coach you could determine within the first 3 to 4 games, sometimes even the first or second game, where your team is and if you have the potential to compete on the national stage, and felt that was the case here within their first few games. And for now, they're about 12 minutes away from sealing their 4th straight Southeastern Extreme Conference title.
And just, if this game continues to go the way it's going, just give credit to the Cowboys. They fought all year long. They didn't have their star player for pretty much the majority of the regular season, and they've been able to battle. They've been battling injuries all year long, and they've been able to get back to this point to potentially seal their 4th straight SEEC championship.
Final 12 minutes about to come up here in his conference championship. Spencer Thompson, Eli Cornett, James Shannon, our producer. Make sure I get all of the names right here, as we have an all-star cast with us in more of the ways than one. A lot of the all-conference players mixing in, some other folks around
From
the
one
league.
school.
Yes.
From one school.
Jed Mangrum, our director, scoreboard operator Levi Ashburn. You got Graham Russell running our second cam, and Dylan Spears on the sideline.
A final in overtime today as the Commodores.
My apologies, that's Owen Lane on the directing side.
45-38.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to share this experience with some of my former players. They've done a really good job today, and they've absolutely killed it. Very cool to share this experience with them.
I tell you, the sideline cam has really been impressive on the angles too.
Well, when you have an all-conference wide receiver and Graham Russell doing that, he can do pretty much everything on the field. And he's proving he actually can do everything on the field with a sideline camera.
James Shannon pulling over basically double duty on the producer-director side and commissioner of the conference. Sterling Hershey, big run as we start the fourth quarter, and he'll get inside the 30.
And off to number 20, Sterling.
And again, CCS has been giving up the edge all day long, as you can see on the replay right here. Just kind of a counter play, able to get outside. Great block there by number 12, Briggs Brady, able to spring that and get a good gain of yardage for another first down.
At the 28-yard line, and the rest of the game you mentioned that Coach Collins and company with his mercy rule trying not to injure any more players, getting their rotation in, and like we mentioned earlier, they got 53 players on the roster to rotate between, so no shortage of that. And they're still giving reps to Elijah Brown as he goes up the middle, gets tackled by 3 players. And that's the other benefit, too, with having so many on the roster is you give them what coaches call the valuable minutes to be able to get reps, especially if you have players like Venter, who only played 3 games with injury, and Eli Carr, who had his challenges through the year that he was still playing through. So you get depth to be able to help you going down the stretch.
Depth and also experience for these younger guys, because a lot of these older guys are going to be gone next year. So you have to give these guys valuable playing experience because it's going to be their team next year.
Trophy ceremony, and also all conference players after the game come to the field.
Carry up the middle. They'll give Julian Harden a chance with the rock as he goes a couple of yards and close there to that first down marker. Might be on an inches scenario, and it'll be about a yard or a little bit of inches there.
How much time is it? I would go 10 minutes. I would go 5. Yeah. I was going to say also, next time out.
First time since 2020 that Christian Community has hosted a conference championship, at least in recent memory.
I think it'd be good. I know Whitehat's a bet.
Venter and off to Elijah Brown going on the right side and gets up to about the 10-yard line for first and goal.
Elijah Brown. It's going to be another first down for the Cowboys.
You like still seeing Elijah Brown getting reps here in the fourth quarter?
Absolutely. He wasn't able to play in last year's SEEC Championship, so just giving him that opportunity, that chance a little bit for redemption, that's great to see for this young man.
Yeah, and didn't play in the championship game last year, managed to get on the first conference team as a linebacker. A lot of other good players down there as well. Elijah Carr was on second team for defensive back. Blake Marquinette on offensive line on the first team. And also had mentioned Elijah Brown on there, and Michael Johnson on the offensive line second team as well for the Freedom Cowboys. Motion play again. This will be carried up by Butler. He'll go up, and it'll go for about a second and goal. Do want to mention as well for the Christian Community Colts, Landon Bowles on second team wide receiver for the conference, second team running back in Braxton Pugh. You also have Driver George on that second wide receiver roster. And Asher Poulin getting both second team for running back and linebacker, so getting double honors on that aspect. And Milan Bernard, an offensive lineman on the second team for the conference. You have several of those players who showed their team now.
And also give credit to both these coaches who keep churning out players, all-conference players, year in and year out. Kind of speaks to the greatness that we have when it comes to coaches in this league.
This is Jeremiah Butler who faked receiving the handoff there.
Number 7.
And it ended up going to Mildy.
The quarterback keeper. That brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, it almost fooled me for a second with Butler going on the right side. Really sold it well there.
And looking over the sideline, looks like the starters are done tonight. So Coach Collins is going to bring his young guys in and give them a little bit of experience and rest his players for next week.
About 7 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in this contest. And how much of poetic justice would it be with the game that he's had that Jalen Venter gets most valuable player in this conference championship?
I would think so as we get another touchdown.
Another run up the middle. Jeremiah Butler runs it up the middle to increase the score to 56-20.
And Jeremiah Butler, the youngest of a long line of Butlers who have played for the Freedom Cowboys, is able to stamp his name into SEEC Championship lore with that touchdown.
Guys, keep it going. I got to step away and go get the banner, but just keep it going after this.
Two-point conversion attempt coming up here for the Freedom Cowboys. Try and make it 58-20 as they do stop the clock on the two-point conversion attempt, 6:59. Quick toss, left side, catch made. Got to the goal line, did Jeremiah Butler. Good connection from Landon Mildy. But they actually rule him no good. Rule it just short.
Freedom 56, CCS 20.
Freedom with a 46-point lead here in this conference championship. We're at 76 most combined points scored in the SEEC title game through its first 4 years of existence.
I don't know if that's the greatness of these offenses or the lack of defense in this game, but Freedom has done a really good job on the defensive side of the ball. Jalen Venter has just been too much for CCS. Let's just give a quick shout out to Asher Poulin for giving a great effort with his guys tonight, scoring the 3 lone touchdowns that they have had. So great effort by both teams tonight.
The Freedom Cowboys do have a shutout recorded on the year, but this is actually tying their second most, beg your pardon, third or fourth. It's within the top 5 of the highest scores they've allowed on the defensive side. Most they allowed was at least in counting their victories, they've allowed 16 points prior. 15, 20. Most points they've allowed in victories was against South Haven Christian last week at 22 points. They're sitting at 20, which ties their second highest amount they've allowed on the defensive end.
They're going to go with that bunch formation again. Hasn't worked out well for them yet, but they're going to try it again.
Toss right side, catch made. Jack Pettit had 6 receiving touchdowns on the season for the Colts and gets a catch there for a gain of 2 yards.
Yeah, just going with a quick screen there, just trying to get something going. Jackson Pettit's another name we have not really heard that much tonight on either defensive side of the ball or offensive side of the ball, but he's able to get a quick catch right there. Going with that same formation to the field.
A deep toss, left side, and wide open here. Asher Poulin with 1 man to beat, trying to find his way to the end zone. Jumps over, pushes through, touchdown for the Colts. Got the better of Eli Carr.
Yeah, they went that bunch formation again that we were talking about earlier, and they're just able to hit Asher Poulin against Eli Carr as he was just able to hop over him and get in for a touchdown to cut the lead right now to 30.
Yeah, we mentioned at the beginning of the game with Eli Carr having issues with his ankle, and you hate to see the far sideline. He's being helped by the training staff and being moved over after that play. One of the things that is not a fun sight especially for the senior. Toss left side, 2-point conversion attempt is good. Jack Pettit makes it 56-28. 5:34 left to go in this contest. Freedom Cowboys leading now by 28.
So that will stop the mercy rule. So the clock will stop, and we'll go back to regular clock rules.
Though in most games when you play against the Freedom Cowboys, because of how much they rush the ball, it feels like it's a fast game and a running clock anyway.
It might be a fast game. You're probably going to see another 4-minute offense by the Freedom Cowboys here, just trying to run this clock out and secure their 4th consecutive SEEC Championship. Or you could have an onside kick by CCS and they could get the ball back. So a lot of different situations that could happen here.
Yeah, they tried that at the start of the second half and unsuccessful there. Already burned one of their timeouts early on. And it's just been all Freedom Cowboys throughout this contest, as it's been in the last the last 3 SEEC Championship games. Last year, a little more competitive, coming down to the wire in the 4th quarter, but it's been all Freedom.
Picking off for the Colts, number 3, Landon Conyers. Back deep to receive for the Cowboys, number 16, Blake Martinet.
And the onside kick did occur, but unsuccessful. Even though they've still got a pile there, Freedom Cowboys pretty well clear that they fell on it there.
It was kicked to number 65.
Looks like it was number 12, Briggs Brady, that was able to fall on that one.
Luke Clarity, the junior, was one of the players in the pile there as well, and Freedom will take it over on the 39-yard line. And as you mentioned, no mercy rule running, with it being 28 points. 30 points here in SEEC on that metric. And you think if the Cowboys had made a couple of the 2-point conversions earlier, we'd already be at 4 minutes.
For the post-game celebration.
But this is what we call, again, valuable time for the players on the field, especially the players on the benches who don't get reps normally. They get rotated in for the Colts, their final game of the season here in 2025. There are 8 seniors that are graduating in May of 2026 will get their final reps in as well, as Sterling Hershey carries the ball, gain of a couple yards.
Hand off to number 28, Sterling Hershey. Tackle made by number 16, Cademan Swain. Second down. Clock right at 5:15 and counting. Left to go in the 4th quarter.
Two-yard gain on that rush for a 2nd and 8. It's a keeper there for Landon Mildy, sophomore, getting reps into the quarterback position. You can see Jalen Venter on the other side, his helmet off and getting a little bit more rest, because he's going to be needed next week.
Absolutely. He's going to be one of the most important pieces for them to potentially win in Florida. Came up short against the Pac Panthers last year, with Pac securing, I believe, their first NHFA national championship last year. So Freedom looking to go back and avenge that. Sadly, Pac is in a different division this year, so we won't be able to see that rematch. But everybody on this team is going to be important for them to come out of Florida with a national championship victory.
Should be getting official word either tomorrow or Monday of next week on the teams and matchups for this year's NHFA tournament bracket, as Sterling Hershey with a big rush goes to about the 30-yard line, and should be interesting to see how things go down in Panama City Beach next week. Sad that you won't be joining us for this year in the broadcast stuff. We had a fun time in 2024.
Yeah, we had a blast last year. It was a lot of fun, but sadly, real life calls. So I will sadly not be joining you guys in Florida, but I do wish you guys the best of luck down there. with all those exciting games on the horizon.
So actually, I must have missed this on social media. The tournament schedule was released as of 9 hours ago. The Division III semis, the Coastal Hurricanes against the Southern Christian Patriots, and the Pack Panthers against the Liberty Christian Eat. 3 divisions this year of 4 teams for the 2025 National Tournament, high school 8-man football. Division II, Ben's Ford Christian Eagles against Southampton Raiders. Mildy gets tackled in the backfield. The East Central Patriots against Acadian Christian Lions. And then Division I, you've got Tri-State Kings Crusaders and the Freedom Cowboys, and then the South Haven Patriots and the Evangel Lightning, which all those matchups, you think about South Haven getting upset in the semi and Freedom Cowboys getting in here and defending their conference title, going back and on the same path as they were last year. The Evangel Lightning also getting their ACSC title last night, and possibly a rematch of the 2 straight 23 and 22 national championship matches, as well as 2021, actually, a couple of years straight where it was between the Freedom Cowboys and the Evangel Lightning in that Division I national game, so setting up for them to have a rematch as well, where Freedom won that in the regular season as well. You get 2 minutes. Mildy with a good pass as that goes outside the reach of Julian Hart. That was the one thing we didn't get to mention there at the game. Elijah Carr had a wager, or several of the players for the Cowboys had a wager with Coach Collins at the beginning of the year where they said if we lose to Evangel, we will all shave our heads. And if Evangel wins, Coach Collins had to shave his head. And I'm trying to remember the exact way Coach Collins phrased it in the meeting. He said something about, well, I got just, less hair and all that.
Yeah. Well, apparently there was another wager for tonight with this Cowboys team and their defensive coordinator, Jacob Kinney. If the defense let up 14 points or less, he was going to have to shave his head. If they let up 6 points or less, he was going to have to shave his beard and his hair.
Everything.
So luckily, he is safe tonight.
12 points far away from any of those wagers coming true as Hershey will take a rush there. But you have to give credit to the Colts on their respective season and an 8-3 record. And win against Chattanooga in the quarterfinal, pulled the on-paper upset against the Tennessee Tigers, number 1 seed in the South Division, and managed to be 4-1. Both of these teams came in with a 3-game winning streak, had momentum from winning their final games of the regular season and winning their playoff games.
Jay Leventer is back in the ball game. Looks like they want to convert this and get out with probably a few knees after this, but they're just looking to pick up this first down.
Yeah, try to seal the clock continuing to run since the mercy rule isn't enacted here on a 4th and 7. And that at least won't matter for the moment. We have a timeout for.
Timeout on the field. 109.
Timeout. It's a second charge timeout. Christian community. They want to acknowledge their seniors.
That's fantastic to hear that announcement there from Derek Brookshire officials and the Colts using their second timeout to acknowledge all of their seniors. I know that they had the senior game earlier in the year, acknowledging every one of the 14 that are on this team. And that was one of the things that Coach Flanders also talked with us about, in that the tradition, he wasn't sure if it started with him, but they have a senior breakfast every Friday. And used to be that the coach's wife in Shelby would wake up at 5 in the morning and cook it, but after she got pregnant with her first child, and since then they started going to local restaurants in the area. And if I remember correctly, there's one in the area that they specifically go to that he said they know their order when they're coming and they know they're showing up. And he mentioned it's the one memory that their seniors year after year miss the most. It's not the tackles, it's not the games, not the trophies, it's the breakfast on Friday mornings.
Yeah, and it's great to have those traditions and just create those long-lasting memories. And not only are the coaches going to remember, but these players are going to remember as a pivotal point in their lives when they were a part of the CCS family.
Yeah, all 8 of them, as Venter will just knee it down for a turnover on downs. And the clock will stop at 1:02, so CCS will at least get a chance to do something here, unless they maybe get their seniors one last couple of plays to enjoy the final run of their respective senior careers with the Colts.
There comes Freedom seniors off too.
All 8 of the seniors for the Colts on, and all of the seniors for the Freedom Cowboys as well getting in the mix. As the Colts will have 62 seconds left. Maybe try to get one more score on the board to give some pride to their respective team. As it's a carry up the middle by freshman Brandon. I beg your pardon, that's the senior Brandon Crafton. I looked at 25 on both of the rosters. Very coincidental, they both have Brandon in their names.
Yeah.
But senior Brandon Crafton, nice to see him get a carry and touch here in his final game for the Colts.
Second down.
Guys, clock at 0. Send us to break.
Another handoff, another carry, this time by senior Ben Henry, who had 1 defensive touchdown on the year. Strike the pose, young man. Enjoy it.
Tackle made by number 7.
At the midfield mark, 17 seconds. The Colts will try to get one more snap, give everyone as much as they can their respective reps.
Looks like Jackson Pettit's going to now get his carry. If they can get this play off, they're going to take a timeout.
I was going to say the Colts did have one more timeout they could burn, so now Colts out of timeouts with 4 seconds left.
Timeout, Christian Community.
In the fourth quarter.
Third and final timeout.
Final moments wrapping up here in the SEEC Championship game. You know, Eli and I, we've been on call for all 4 of these ones, and it was like Blake Biggs and I were calling the CFA game last year, and for 2 years we had close matchups.
Yeah.
We won in overtime years ago, and the SEEC Championship, as at least the last 2 years, they've been more competitive.
Yeah.
It's been more close and gotten better, and again, it's just a testament to how incredible this Freedom Cowboys team is, and how even with them having 3 losses on the year, only 1 loss in conference play.
You should hype up the show tomorrow.
4 seconds left to go.
Well, on a 3rd and 1. Well, this game is going to be among the many that are recapped on Extreme Talk, presented by Cornet Performance. That'll be tomorrow on Sunday afternoon, right here on the 8-Man Extreme YouTube channel. James Shannon, Blake Biggs will recap all of the conference championships that have happened around here, as that's going to do it. Jack Pettit carries it, and the Freedom Cowboys have yet to lose in the Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship. 4 straight years. The Freedom Cowboys are on top.
The CCS coach 28. And what a good season by both teams, as the Freedom Cowboys win their 4th straight.
We will be back in a few moments for the prize presentations for all conference awards, MVP, and the trophy here for the SEEC Championship game. We'll be right back here on 8-Man Extreme.
regardless. I played here. This is the field I played on. And for the championship, for the cup, to be on the field that I. For that. That's God. So, gotta give him praise for that. Just athletic directors, the reps, all the teams in the conference. It was a challenging year, worked through everything, and we got here. So, I want to give them a big thank you. I want you guys to give your, because without the parents, families behind these young men, there's no CCS Colts, Eastern Extreme Conference, without you guys being behind it. So, thank you all.
Well, it's the receiver on here because I've
And
swapped
one more time. We're going to hand it here in a second. All right, Spencer. What do we got? How we looking? Okay. Well, we're going to keep. Hey, let's.
Yeah.
Time to hand out some hardware for the 2025 All Southeastern Extreme Conference team. First up on the quarterback side for first team, senior number 12, Ethan Musser from the Tennessee Tigers. Quarterback second team, senior number 7 from South Haven Christian School, Wyatt Choked. And now your all-conference team member running backs. First team, junior number 3 from South Haven Christian, Cade Atkinson. Senior number 21 from the Chattanooga Patriots, Luke Richardson. Second team running backs, junior number 4 from Christian Community, Braxton Pugh. Also from Christian Community, junior number 31, Asher Poulin. And now your all-conference wide receivers. First team, senior Number 80 from the Tennessee Tigers, Graham Russell. Junior number 11 from South Haven Christian, Caius Schroeder. Also senior number 23 from the Chattanooga Patriots, Pierce Jackson. And now your wide receiver second team members. Sophomore number 1 from Lancaster Christian, Reese Mitchell. Sophomore from Christian Community, number 10, Driver George. Also from Christian Community, sophomore number 1, Landon Bowles. And now your all-conference tight end first team member, senior number 8 from the Tennessee Tigers, Dylan Spears.
Say it again.
Put it like more in the middle.
Like this.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect.
And your second team tight end, senior from South Haven Christian, number 0, Jack Rush. And now your all-conference offensive lineman first team members. From South Haven Christian, the senior number 51, Oliver Roush. Senior from Lancaster Christian, number 58, Michael Mullen. And a senior from Chattanooga, number 77, Tucker Willoughby. And now your second team offensive lineman. From Christian Community, the junior, number 55, Milan Bernard. A senior from South Haven Christian, number 19, Trevor McCarver. And the junior from the Freedom Cowboys, number 22, Michael Johnson. And now your all-conference defensive linemen. On the first team, freshman from the Tennessee Heat, number 60, Aiden Foster. Senior from South Haven Christian, number 51, Oliver Rausch. And the junior from the Freedom Cowboys, number 16, Blake Marconet. On the second team for the defensive linemen, a senior from the Tennessee Tigers, number 56, Matthew Bordulis. A senior from South Haven Christian, number 9, Tate Ballard. And a senior from the Chattanooga Patriots, number 7, Thomas Long. And now your all-conference linebackers first team. From the Freedom Cowboys, a senior, number 18, Elijah Brown. A junior from the South Haven Patriots, number 12, Sam Hill. And a senior from the Tennessee Heat, number 16, Levi Ashburn. And now your second team linebackers. From South Haven Christian, the junior, number 3, Cade Atkinson. A junior from Christian Community, number 31, Asher Poulin. And a senior from the Chattanooga Patriots, number 21, Luke Richardson. And now your all-conference defensive backs, first team. From the Tennessee Tigers, number 2, the junior, Owen Lane. A senior from South Haven Christian, number 5, Jared White. And from the Chattanooga Patriots, senior number 23, Pierce Jackson. And now your second team defensive backs. From the Freedom Cowboys, senior number 2, Eli Carr. From South Haven Christian, the junior, number 11, Caius Schroeder. A junior from Riverside Christian, number 7, Noah Patterson. And now your all-conference first-team kicker/punter from the Tennessee Tigers, the junior number 18, Isaac Orbke.
Let's go, Orbs!
And your second-team kicker/punter, the senior from South Haven Christian, number 51, Oliver Roush. And now your all-conference first-team kick returner/punt returner, the freshman, number 11, Josiah Williams. And your second-team kick returner/punt returner, number 1 from Lancaster Christian, sophomore Reese Mitchell. One more big round of applause for your 2025 Southeastern Extreme Conference all-conference players. Let's give a big round of applause to this year's runner-up for the 2025. But first, the most valuable player for this year's Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship, Jalen Venter. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to this year's runner-up for the 2025 Southeastern Extreme Conference Championship, the Christian Community School Colts. And now, for the 4th straight season, your 2025 Southeastern Extreme Conference champions, the Freedom Cowboys.
So, James might want, I'll get this.